Thank you for watching. I'm John Razimus. Welcome to 2018. This is a new year. I'm very sick. I may not sound sick, but I got a lung flu, and I've had it for 10 days straight. Trying to get over it. It's not easy. It is tough. It's hard to breathe. I'm sure a lot of people have it. There are a lot of viruses and flus going around. I don't know if it's a conspiracy. All I know is they're trying to sell you flu shots everywhere you go. Perhaps it's just a new strain and it's really mutated since last year to an extreme degree. Maybe it's really hard to fight this time. But I think my immune system, given 10 more days, will hopefully have destroyed it. This is just an update for the new show coming soon. I wanted to do this outside. I wanted nice scenery, but I'm too sick to go outside. But I'm showing something I didn't want to show. I wanted to keep 100% of the new intro and the new logo a secret. But I'll show you one element of the new logo. Some people might like it, some people might dislike it. I have a vision, kind of like Tommy Wiseau in The Room. It is what it is. And I decided to stick to my vision 100%. If it fails, it fails. But if it succeeds, at least I stuck to my vision 100%. So this is one element, one part of the new logo of the new show. It is an Ankh, and I carved it myself out of one single piece of wood. Getting the center carved out was pretty tough. This is about 1.5 inches thick. I tried to go online to Etsy, of all places, and different places of wood carvers and wood crafters and wood cutters. Nobody was willing to cut 1.5 inches thick. They were all willing to sell me a little sliver of 1/2 inch at most. And I would have had to purchase multiple tiny Ankhs too. And they're really short, tiny ones. This Ankh is substantially gigantic. Made it myself. And here are the different steps that I went through to carve this Ankh, which will become part of the new logo. And it's not done yet. The paint job isn't done yet. I just did a real quick white paint job yesterday. Really quick, because I wanted to see if the proportions looked good as one color. And I'd say they look pretty good. It might not be exactly symmetrical, but I made it myself, and I'm proud of it. I'm happy of what it looks like. I'm going to do some pinstripe black line to really enhance the shape. And then I'm going to do something interesting with the sides, and you will see. But this is the process I went through. I found a piece of wood. I got it at a place called Woodworker something or other. It's a woodworking store. They sell wood for woodworkers and carvers and people that craft elaborate designs. And I was going to get a really expensive piece of oak, cherry, or something, maple, I don't know what it was. And then I realized, I'm an amateur. I don't want to butcher this beautiful piece of wood. So I decided to go for a cheap piece of poplar wood, and I'm glad with my decision. Poplar was fairly easy to cut and craft and mold into this shape, whereas a different type of wood might have broken, it might have been too hard, might have been too soft. This is a nice, for beginners, poplar wood, and I drilled a bunch of holes in the middle, and I repeated that process, and it was just a slow process of whittling down and sanding and grinding and cutting down until everything is gone, until it looks like this. And it is part of the new show intro. It's part of the logo. I'm gonna have t-shirts with it, hopefully. I think it's a pretty cool logo in my head. Then again, I've never seen the logo. I've only seen the vision of what the logo is going to look like. And this is 1/3 of that logo. But even this isn't fully completed yet. Like I said, there's going to be pinstriping around the edges and something on the sides which will minimally even be visible. But this is one of the things I've been working on for a couple months now. I'm not a woodworker. I'm not someone that goes out and whittles something out of wood. But I like art. I like the medium of many different mediums and just crafting something with your hands. And that's what I decided to do with this Ankh. I'm a big fan of Ankhs, believe it or not, whether it's from a video game, a movie, a TV show, ancient Egypt. I'm a huge fan and avid follower of ancient Egypt. When I was a kid, my #1 goal was to become an archaeologist, kind of like Indiana Jones. So not like a boring archaeologist, impossibly movie version of an archaeologist, but still. I was really big into archaeology. I was into dinosaur bones and Egyptian excavation type stuff. Obviously not participating in real life, but watching it on TV, watching the documentaries, reading the books. Huge fan of the subject of archaeology. And I picked up this Ankh. I don't know if you can see it, but I picked up this Ankh right here. Just gonna zoom in on it. Of course, it's attached to other things. Well, might as well take off everything I'm wearing. But I picked up this string of things, including this Ankh right here. And this Ankh is from a TV show called Black Sails. So it was an opportunity to snag something. So last year, I believe it was, I snagged this from auctions of them selling Black Sails memorabilia. Now this Ankh is not a huge part of the show, but I'm a huge fan of Ankhs. So I wanted a famous Ankh. So this has got to be one of the more famous Ankhs that I own. My Black Sails Ankh. Yeah. But then again, I have one of my favorite Ankhs. And these are the actual props, wardrobe props from the Black Sails show. We have some beads with a bone. This is some type of religion artifact in the Black Sails universe. And I believe this is supposed to be some obscure religion in the Black Sails universe. And this pouch, this leather pouch, is also supposed to be a Black Sails obscure religion. An African religion, I have to assume. But there's a key scene, which is why I bought this. They reused the same Ankh and the same pouch. They kind of got rid of the beads and the bone thing, and they reused this pouch and this Ankh during the dead captain scene. The main captain of the show walks into the cabin of an abandoned ship, and he sees a dead captain. And the dead captain is wearing this, and a dead captain is wearing this. And these are the actual props wardrobe from the show. I thought it was pretty cool, so I had to pick it up. But this is quickly becoming one of my favorite Ankhs, even though I just made it myself. I snagged, as I already showed you, a pretty cool Ankh from Shapeways, which you can order yourself. Not advertising it, but this is most definitely one of my favorite Ankhs as well. The Dennis Lubé Ultima Ankh. And I'm a huge fan of the Ultima series. And whatever the Ankh means to you, it probably means something different to me. To me it means life, positivity, eternal life. The key to eternal life. Nothing negative. It only means positive things to me. But I understand there are a few people out there, if not many, where it represents something gothic or evil or wicked or occult. It doesn't to me. So just to let you know, I don't use this symbol for any occult purposes. And the new show is not going to have any occult slants. I'm still going to be an anti-occultist. But perhaps in the new show, I might at least attempt to find some more proof. I at least want to try my best to back it up with some actual physical evidence. In the world of the spirit, don't expect anything big, and I haven't conducted the experiments yet. But I have ordered 3 pieces of equipment, and I will be reviewing those pieces of equipment as well as using them at the same time. in an attempt to get some proof. Things like Ouija boards I'm going to stay away from and never touch and never use. I've never had a negative experience with Ouija boards, ever. But I don't want a negative experience with Ouija boards. I've definitely had negative experiences with actual spirits, and no Ouija boards were in sight. So I can't even imagine what it would be like if I brought that into the table. I don't think ghost hunter equipment is the same as a Ouija board, but it can be the same. I have heard someone downloaded a ghost app on their phone, and ever since they downloaded this ghost app, they were harassed by ghosts or demons, or whatever the case may be. That might be a little superstitious. It might be real. There might be a scam built into the app to make you think you're being haunted. It's hard to trust an app. An app will totally be built in to have ads and probably a built-in scam mechanism. But on the small chance an app actually works, you have the phone with you 24 hours a day. I don't recommend downloading a single ghost app. I've never done it. I don't recommend you do it. So I have purchased 3 pieces of equipment, and you will see what they are in the future on the new show, independent of my phone. So if they do become a magnet for anything, I can get rid of the device, which was considerably cheap, and I don't have to get rid of my phone, which I have to use every single day. So I do not recommend, and I know there are YouTubers that are paid to sell you ghost hunting apps. Download it, blah blah blah. Don't download it. I'm not getting paid, obviously. My new show is 0 sponsorships. I have to sponsor myself. I'm going to have t-shirts with the new logo. I want this logo to be amazing. I have it pictured in my head. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I want it to be multi-colors, and hopefully those t-shirts will help me pay for my book coming out this year. My book. I'm self-publishing it, Corners of Rooms. Every time I come up with a title for a book, I get the .com. So cornersofrooms.com exists. There's nothing there. Maybe it forwards to my Twitter. Not only did I craft this Ankh, which took me a couple months, but I did cut the GoPro attachment and super glue it and glue gun hot glue it onto this drone, which is not designed to be attached to. They want to sell you a generic GoPro with this drone, so they only supply you with a generic GoPro attachment, which doesn't obviously attach to real GoPros. But I went around that, and I have the attachment ready to go. And I actually wanted to film one scene, but I was too sick this weekend. But the drone is ready to go, the GoPro is ready to go. The logo is not 100%. This is 1/3. I will have to say that the other 2 parts are very complete as well. I just don't want to reveal them as of yet. Perhaps I will reveal them one video at a time. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for staying with this channel and subscribing and commenting and liking. There are new book reviews coming soon. You know, I never really fully reviewed Dead Names, History of the Necronomicon. I never really fully reviewed a bunch of stuff. But I have tons of books that I really do want to review. Stay tuned. New book reviews coming soon. Perhaps if I'm stuck indoors, I will be doing a few more book reviews. But the new show, I do want to have an outdoors segment, more of a nature aspect to it. I want to have some cinematic, awesome scenes. The intro and the outro, I have a lot planned for it. It's not just an Ankh that I carved out of wood. This is 1/100th of how complex the props and everything involved in the intro is. It's an important process to me. It's a vision I want to stick to, and I thank you for your patience in sticking to this channel and watching it. Feel free to have suggestions, leave your comments, what you would like to see on the new show. What type of evidence would you like to see? I'm going to perhaps get out of my comfort zone a little bit to get some of this evidence that I know can be had, that I know can be obtained, but that I purposely haven't because it does cross the line of communication. But there's an old show called Sightings, And I've been recently watching some old episodes of sightings because someone uploaded them to YouTube and I just noticed them. So I'm going through this old sightings playlist and I'm finding some amazing things, some really cool paranormal shows with some really interesting paranormal evidence that no one has ever tried to reproduce. It's almost as if it's too good to be true, or it's almost as if science and even paranormal science totally rejected it and never attempted to reproduce it. So I'm going to try to reproduce some of these 90s, it's not even that long ago, 1990s, these old cases, not that old, of contact between spirits and humans via certain technologies, never reproduced ever again. And if they have been reproduced, it hasn't been on YouTube anytime soon. I'm going to try to reproduce them. I would like to have a witness, so you, the subscriber, the viewer, can see that I'm not just doctoring the evidence. It's kind of hard to get someone to take part in a YouTube channel when there isn't much incentive for them. I can't really afford to pay someone, but I have enough relatives and friends, hopefully, that someone will take part in some of these experiments. I want to be objective as possible. I want to get some evidence that, of course, science is going to reject. But someone with an open mind is going to say, you know what, at least it's not just words. At least he has some data. I am haunted to a certain extent. Nowhere near as haunted as I was back in 2011, but I am still haunted. I'll give you an example. My demon poltergeist haunting of John Razimus intro and outro. I recorded it 3 times, not because I wanted it to sound perfect, but because the first and second time it was either too dark, it was pitch black, and I was using my headlights to light the background. It was too dark. The second time it might have been too windy, and the third time was just about right. And even then people complained it was too windy. But the first and second time I recorded that intro and outro, there were a lot of taps and dings. We're talking a lot of taps, a lot of dings, and in some cases I was standing 20 feet away from the camera, 15 feet, 10 feet, and you could clearly hear something messing with the microphone. Very circumstantial evidence, but if I had a second person as an eyewitness that could tell you that that's what happened, short of having 10 cameras film me from 10 different angles, and I'm not going to go that route, but I do have a new GoPro, and if there are any extreme scenarios, I will try to film myself from 2 or 3 cameras. But it's always better to have an eyewitness, an actual person watching the event, and that can give their account of what happened afterwards. But a lot of new stuff coming soon. I'm a huge fan of Ankhs, so until next time, this has been John Razimus with the John Razimus channel. A new show coming soon with a new name, but a very familiar format, upscaled to be more interesting and delving into things that haven't been looked at or noticed in a long time. I thank you for watching. Until next time, this has been John Razimus. Be seeing you.